This is a hand-cut roof. It was mainly done by 3 carpenters that were subcontracted by my main contractor that I paid to shell this property. I distinctly remember a conversation that I was having with the main carpenter, and he was moaning about the bricklayers and how much they charge, considering the carpenters have thousands of pounds worth of tools and all the bricklayers need is a bucket and a trowel. And I'm sure he said at the time, maybe in a different conversation, that anyone that buys themselves a saw thinks they can call themselves a carpenter. And I know a lot of tradesmen like to slag off DIY work, but a professional tradesman, carpenter, they got paid to frame this out. And I'm going to show you what the problems are. It's the worst one out of all of them. There are a few things that I need to do on the others, but this one needs a lot of work. I may or may not have already released a short where I vented about this, so I don't need to swear in this one. I'm just going to point out the mistakes. Okay, first of all, when you frame out your roof lights, V-luxes, whatever you want to call them, these are key lights, I think. Double rafters, yeah, that's fine. Trimmers, double, yeah, that's fine. This is a hanger. These are screws. They are not structural screws. You shouldn't be using these type of screws in a hanger. They're on there, 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 they're on there. I will show you later, or in a minute, why you shouldn't be using them screws. If this moves for any reason, then them screws can shear. This is 20mm too short. I can get my finger in there. And then there's a big gap that side as well. So if you cut it too short, why wouldn't you just cut another? It is nailed on this side, up here on that one, and then screwed on the other side. I don't know why you would do that. Why wouldn't you just put nails in so that's not properly secure? Same on this side, it's nailed. You used a nail gun for that, and then it's all screwed on this side. So that's not properly secure. There's gaps here. The only thing that's actually holding that trimmer up is these 2 non-structural screws just there, because there's no screws on this side at all. The trimmer over this side is cut a little bit better. There is a gap up there. That's about 7mm. That is also about 7mm there as well. Obviously you didn't have the right joist hanger at the time, so you used a truss clip initially and then toe nailed it in. That's not that bad, but then he's come back and done the hanger afterwards. Couldn't get the nails in properly and left the hanger like this. Now I need to put my insulation on this and then plasterboard. That can't be hanging out like that. Although I'm just a DIYer, I do know how to do this properly. I'll link a video in the description if you're interested in that. I probably should have done that at the time, should have ripped it out and done it properly myself, but at the time I was just having a bit of a nightmare with the main contractor and managing his subcontractors. I'll link in the video in the description about that as well. Being a smaller roof window, it's not as critical, but I'm still going to sort it out. I'm not just going to cover it up and just hope for the best. I'll show you how I'm going to do that, and I'll explain the difference between structural and non-structural fixings. I'm just going to pull one of these screws out and show you what I'm dealing with. These are obviously whatever they had on the van. What I pulled out there was probably a 4mm screw. That's the width of the thread. And then the shaft inside, whatever that's called, it's probably less than 3mm. I'm going to show you what the difference is between a normal standard wood screw and a nail. Screw first. Snapped. Now, I could be there forever. That is why when you're doing any form of like structural framing, it's better to use nails than screws, unless you get specifically designed structural screws. I've got a few joist hangers here. I think they're all Simpsons, and on each leg it will show you how many fixings you need to use. The amount you put in will vary depending on whether you're wrapping this over the top plate or not. If you're just face fixing, then there'll be a lot more. For these ones here, you always put all of them in, and for this it can be less. I think this one without the top plate is 22, so you could effectively just cut that off and just nail 10 on each side, or 11 rather. Standard way to actually do these, it even says it on here, it's 3.75 times 30 nails, and these are the ones that you need. I'm guessing that particular carpenter was using his boss's nail gun. You can use a nail gun for it, but these ones, if you just want to go old school, these are square twist nails. If you haven't guessed already, these are square and they're twisted, so that gives them better hold in the actual timber. No, I've always got square twist nails, so if he wanted some, he could have just asked me, or just like spoke to me and said like, this is the issue, but he's just not used his brain. If you wanted to do this properly with your nail gun and minimal square twist nails, first thing you should have done is cut this. That doesn't even need to be there. Neither any of these, they're left the rafters long on both sides, which is even more of a pain in the ass for me. When I'm insulating, I should have told them to cut off, but obviously if you ever do this and this happens, then you know now. If he would have cut that, he could have put in this joist hanger on its own. He could have used his nail gun to do that instead of putting a load of stupid screws at wrong angles and like whatever he could do. This one's already nailed, so that would have been fully nailed. He could have cut this trimmer, made sure it was the right fucking length in the first place, and then whilst it was still out, he could have put these hangers on. So that would have been nailed, 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 all with his nail gun. And the only thing he would have had to have done then is do these ones. And because you couldn't get your nail gun in there, he could have used the square twist nails, two there, and it would have been done properly. Square twist nails, they are relatively cheap. If you want to up your game, well, it's not even worth it. If you want to waste your money, you can get premium fasteners. These are from Simpsons. These are actual screws. These are structurally rated for this specific job, basically. And they're designed in such a way where the head up there is shaped so it fits exactly in the actual holes of your hangers. This is a normal wood screw. You can see the head is kind of like conical. This is one of the Simpsons structural screws for the hangers. You can see where it's shaped differently. That's basically so it doesn't shear off. Now I did get two different sizes. These are 4 times 30 and these are the 5 times 50. Reason being I got these specifically is because now he's made the holes for the screws, I'm not sure the square twist nails will hold that well, considering they're only 30mm. I did also get, there is another option with Simpson if you want to spend a load of money again. They've got premium fasteners again. These are, what would you call them, ring shank nails. Because they're 4mm, they're quite a bit fatter. So I might be able to get away with using them in the screw holes as opposed to the square twist ones. So my first job will be to replace all of the shitty screws with either the specific structural screws or the specific structural nails. I might be able to use a couple of the square twist nails in the holes that he hasn't used. I've still got the issue with the trimmers or the rafters sitting above the joist hangers, so there's a gap underneath. You can sometimes sort that out by just putting a shim under there, like you cut a little wooden block and just block it out. But the joist hangers are proud still, so I'm going to probably smash them back up. And the only thing that it's relying on then is these two fixings either side. I just had a beam with fucking jeans. I never got stung though, that was lucky. I've never been stung in my life actually. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use some structural screws. I'm going to go all the way through, and that would effectively make the joist hangers null and void. So you don't need to use the joist hangers, you just need to get the right screws. Again, these ones, they have a different head. That's for better clamping. All structural screws tend to have a wider head. The ones I normally get are timber fix. There we go, structural screws. These particular ones are 6.3 by 150mm. I normally get them from Screwfix, but because I had to go to the other place, I got a different type. That's them ones. They work fine. That's what I used on there. These are the other ones that I got from the other place that I went to. So these are Timco timber construction screws. It says it's for timber framing and landscaping screws. These are almost exactly the same. There's 6.7 instead, and they've got that little bit there. But these are rated structurally as well, it says on there right up. I'm just going to show you the difference between them two and something like this. This is a turbo coach screw. This is the turbo coach screw. Snapped straight away. This is the timber fix. Oh, it didn't snap, it just slipped. See, it acts pretty similar to a nail. And this is the Timco. Slipped again. That just bends as well. Sometimes it is a bit of a squeeze to get them structural screws in, so you might need one of these. This is a right angle drill from Ryobi. I'm not sure whether other manufacturers do it, but if not, you can just get one of these and then that changes it out. I'll leave a link in the description if you want one. First thing, I can't toenail it, but let's just get a couple of nails in here. Whoa, didn't know that one, did it? I'm going to go for this one first. Nice. This, null and void. Smash the fuck out of that. Look at the massive gap. Stupid divs. Okay, I think I'm done. I much prefer down here because I've got more proper fixings in, and I've done this but the opposite side as well. And I've got the other things, and the trimmer is closer. This side, not overly happy with, but I've done the best that I could. I've replaced them fixings. I've done inside as many as I could. Up there, I've got the extra screws on the structural screws all the way through. It should be solid, and hopefully now I've done that properly, it shouldn't move and I won't get any cracks in my ceiling. If I do in the future, I'm not going to be happy. I'd actually be interested to know how many other people have had to redo other people's work. I can crack on with the installation now. Millie.